We are a territory with a strong national personality. We need our independence.
Hay mucha más gente que somos españoles y queremos pertenecer a España.
Spain is in the middle of a political battle that threatens to split the country. The region of Catalonia held a referendum to decide if they wanted to become an independent state and therefore separate from Spain. The Spanish constitutional courts ruled the referendum illegal, and the central government tried to stop it from happening. They arrested government officials who were planning on holding the vote, confiscated ballots, and closed polling stations. Undeterred, the regional Catalan government announced that voters could print their ballots at home and vote at any open polling station. It didn't take long for the situation to escalate. Nearly 1,000 people were injured in the violence, 5 of them seriously. As for the results, 90% of participants voted to secede. This would seem like almost unanimous approval, but less than half of all eligible voters in Catalonia turned out to vote. Based on the results, the Catalan government is threatening to declare independence from Spain unilaterally. In response, the Spanish government is preparing an unprecedented takeover of Catalonia's regional powers, which will remove its leaders from office. So how did they get here? Spain is made up of 17 semi-autonomous regions, each with their own identity. Some, like Catalonia, are distinct enough that they have their own language as well as culture, cuisine, and literature. Spain is a decentralized, unified state. That means that autonomous regions like Catalonia are governed according to the national constitution, as well as laws enacted independently by each regional government. But it wasn't always this way. From 1939 to 1975, Spain lived under a fascist dictatorship. Francisco Franco eliminated democratic liberties, freedom of the press, and political opposition. He also crushed regional diversity around the country to impose a single national identity. For Catalonia, that meant suppressing the Catalan language as well as local traditions. It was a big blow to the Catalan culture. When Franco died in 1975, Spain transitioned into a democracy, and the newly created constitution expanded autonomy in the regions. The constitution allowed for a few things: Catalonia's self-governance, it recognized Catalan as an official language of Catalonia, and while specifically recognizing autonomy in the regions that comprise Spain, it also cemented that Spain was indivisible. As Spain's democracy strengthened, so did Catalonia's pride.
We are Catalan, we feel Catalan, we speak Catalan, and it is another culture.
Then, for the first time since the constitution was created, Catalans tried to expand their autonomy. The 2006 referendum called for many things. It called for a new economic model for Catalonia, to define Catalonia as a nation, and to privilege the Catalan language over Spanish. After 4 years of legal battles, the Constitutional Court struck down some of the amendments. When the constitutional ruling was announced, 1 million Catalans went to the streets of Barcelona, where they carried signs that read, "We are a nation, we decide." There are economic motivations for independence too. Catalonia is one of the most prosperous regions in Spain. It takes up only 6% of the country, but it accounts for 1/5 of Spain's economic output. In 2016, nearly 21% of Spain's tax revenue came from Catalonia.
We pay a lot of taxes. They take them away. They don't return into better infrastructures, into better living conditions.
Pro-independence Catalans believe Catalonia pays too much money into the central government compared to what it gets in return. Catalonia, like Madrid and other richer regions, support the poorer parts of Spain. This sentiment grew during the European economic crisis, when a wave of unemployment hit Spain. But despite growing support, the majority of Catalans don't want independence.
No me parece que sea bueno para Cataluña la independencia, no por depender o no de España, sino porque dependemos directamente de Europa.
Low-income families are less likely to support independence than those who are well off, as are Catalans who live in cities compared to those who live in rural areas. Which brings us back to today. banks and multinationals have started to move their headquarters out of Barcelona to other Spanish regions. Catalan separatists have turned to Europe for support, but most European Union leaders have sided with the central government. They have made it clear that an independent Catalonia would have to apply for EU membership, a process that would take years. And while the fight on Catalan independence will eventually be settled, it may take a long time for Catalonia and Spain to return to peaceful coexistence.